I hated porn. I hated the way porn made me feel after I watched it. I hated the way I felt after relapsing. I hated the hopeless feeling that came after relapsing, the shame, the emptiness, the disgust, the self-hatred, the emptiness, the hollowness, the shallowness. I hated it, but I did not know how to stop. I kept going through the cycle over and over and over and over and over for so many years, for 7 years precisely. I was addicted to porn and masturbation. But by God's grace, I'm 2 years clean, and I'll show you how I did it or how God did it in this video. My name is Joel CV, and I was addicted to porn and masturbation for 7 years. But by God's grace and His grace alone, I've been 2 years clean, living a purposeful and ambitious life. I made a guide covering the exact steps of the transformation, going from 7 years of addiction to 2 years being clean. If you want the exact guide that goes super in depth, comment guide, and I'll send the link straight to you, and you can access it for free, no charges or nothing. And also, I'm building something that can help Christian men go from porn and masturbation addicts to purposeful and ambitious men through His grace and not mine. And if you want to be a part of that program, I'm doing 100 direct research interviews. If you want to be a part of that, hit me up on X, formerly known as Twitter, and we can have that conversation for completely free, no nothing. So let's get into the video. So I said, I wanted to quit porn and masturbation. I didn't want to continue doing porn. I didn't want to be addicted. I didn't want to do it. I hated the way I felt after doing it, but I didn't know how to stop. I did not know how to stop. I kept doing it, even though I hated myself for doing it, even though I hated the way it made me feel after doing it, the depression, the emptiness and all that. I didn't know how to stop. I did not know how to stop. I kept doing the same thing each and every freaking time, over and over and over. It made me feel like this out of control freak that had no control of his own urges. When the urges came, I'm done. As soon as they came to my brain, I'm doing it. As soon as the thought comes, I'm gone. It was that bad. Every day, every freaking day, I would have these thoughts. I would relapse. I would watch porn. That's how my life was for a very long period of time. I was tired of my brain constantly looping porn videos in my brain over and over. The porn I'd watch at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 p.m. I was tired of my brain constantly playing it over. I was tired of the feeling horny all the time. I was tired, but I did not know how to stop, and therefore I continued in this addiction each and every time. Made me feel disgusted, made me feel empty, made me feel shameful, made me feel self-hateful, made me feel depressed, and I didn't know how to stop. So I continued feeling depressed, I continued feeling shameful, I continued feeling empty, hollow, shallow, purposeless, hopeless, non-ambitious, empty for 7 freaking years. And I was disappointed and I was angry. Because how can you hate something so much but keep finding yourself doing it every single time? You can't say no. Anytime the thought comes, you're a slave to the thoughts, you're a slave to your urges, you have no will, no desire to, no, you have the desire to quit, but you can't even quit because you don't even know how. And that's how messed up my life was. But by God's grace, I'm 2 years clean, 2 years free from porn and masturbation. And it does not mean I don't struggle. I struggle sometimes. The thoughts come, but I react differently now. And I'll show you how that transformation came about. So the first thing was me denying myself, trusting in God and not in myself, not in my own power, not in my own knowledge, not in my own ability to quit this addiction, but in His grace and His grace alone. That was the first step. I came to the end of myself. I was tired of feeling this shame, this guilt, this hatred. I was tired of failing too many times, failing more times than I can count. I was tired. I was depressed. I was at an all-time low with this addiction. And I said, I can't do it anymore. I can't freaking do this. And I brought it to God. And I asked for help. Genuine help. Like I was broken. I had to ask Him to actually help me overcome this addiction because I can't. So that was the first thing I did. I put my trust in God and not in myself. The second thing I did was actually start being accountable for myself. I started by cutting the addiction at the root cause, which is from the thoughts, and not surface level actions like abstinence, avoiding, and all those stuff. Which is good though. It's good. It's fine, but it cannot help you actually quit this addiction. You may go a week clean, fall back. A month clean, fall back. Sometimes some people even go a year clean and still fall back because they don't focus on the root cause, which is from your thoughts. From your thoughts lead into action, and action is the addiction. Lustful thoughts cause lustful actions, hence your addiction to porn and masturbation. If you have pornography thoughts, you will also manifest pornographic actions, masturbating, watching the actual porn. So I had to cut my addiction from the root cause. I had to start weeding out all the thoughts, all the erotic thoughts in my brain, and how did I do that? I stopped feeding my brain erotic content. Stop watching all the erotic music videos, all the scrolling on Instagram, liking and consuming all the erotic content, OnlyFans, the media in general. Because if you look at it, the media in general, from every aspect, from the music to the movies, everything is sexualized completely. In every way, there's a dash of sexuality, there's a dash of nudity in everything the media does these days. So I had to step back from it. I had to cut it off. I had to renew my mind. I had to cut it out. That was the first part. The second part, I had to actually start feeding my brain with actual things that can actually help my life. First, the word, which is the Bible. Replacing my thoughts with God's thoughts. Consuming things that can actually help me achieve what I want to achieve in life. Purposeful content. Deep content that actually opens your brain and to what actually matters in life. Not all this brain rot, clickbait stuff. Real videos, authentic. Sometimes plain no edits, just like this. Where the person is actually spitting real talk. So stuff like that. I have to consume this kind of content, educate myself, read books, open my brain to things that actually matter in life. Not being on my phone all day, all those kind of stuff. So that's the second part. The first part was acknowledging that you need help from God and not yourself. Second part was cutting it at the roots. You do this by cutting at the bad habits and doing the good habits. The third part, which is the final part, is being consistent. Not getting proud, not feeling that, oh, I'm 6 months clean, I can do whatever I want, I can watch whatever I want. Not getting proud, knowing who you are, the root cause, knowing you're a piece of crap, a masturbator, a porn addict, and the only way you can overcome this is through God's help. So I stayed humble. I knew who I was. I knew how bad I'd suffered from this addiction, and I didn't want to suffer anymore. So I always stayed humble. I knew, okay, I have to stop. I have to cut this enough. I have to log off. I knew when to stop. Knew when to. Yeah, you have to know yourself. If you understand what I'm saying, be humble. Don't get proud and say, oh, I'm 6 months clean now. I'm 1 year clean now. I can watch After. I can watch any movie, sex scenes. Yeah, I'm fine. Sure, you may watch it and nothing may happen that time. But eventually, to plant the seed, and before you know it, you're on Pornhub at 2 a.m., freaking relapsing, hating yourself for making the decision in the first place. So, a recap: trusting in God, not yourself, cutting out the bad habits, doing the good habits, and staying consistent. So, if you like the video, like, subscribe, and comment guide for the exact steps of achieving this same transformation for yourself, from being addicted to porn and masturbation to being porn-free, living a purposeful and ambitious porn-free life. And also, I'm building something that can help Christian men go from porn and masturbation addicts to purposeful and ambitious men through God's grace. And I'm doing 100 direct research interviews, asking men how this addiction has affected their mental health, their esteem, their confidence, their relationships, their efficiency at work. And if you're one of those men, reach out to me on X, formerly known as Twitter. We can have that conversation completely free, not a dime being spent. If it sounds like you, hit me up, link to the description, and I'll see you there. So till then, trust God, not yourself, cut out the bad habits, do the good habits, and be consistent. See you in the next video.